Much like any sane and reasonable human being, I fear the creatures of the ocean. This is perhaps in part due to my overwhelming dread of some Cthulhu-esque monstrosity being enraged by our incursion on their gigantic domain, but also because sea creatures are largely creepy. The Greedy Sponge by Ivica Irachik and Sponge Forge feeds directly into this well of dread by forcing you to help an endlessly hungry sponge to consume a host of replicating organisms. If you haven't guessed it, this game is at its heart of hearts a match game, rewarding players for lining up different shaded creatures to score points. Though there is a twist. Games like Bust a Move challenge players to crowbar groups of orbs off a larger pile by strategically creating matches through careful aiming. Greedy Sponge is similar in concept, though players can only bump rows left or right, attempting to align the coloured creatures in groups of 5 or more to clear them off the screen. Though this isn't how you score points. No, your aim is to clip off as many creatures as possible to shove them into the sponge's gaping maw. The game adopts a far more puzzle aspect as you have 2 options for removing chunks of creatures, either by snipping them off via a match or shifting a row in order to remove their foothold. It's not immediately intuitive, though the game starts out slow enough to work out tactics, such as removing tiny groups at the top of the screen in order to bump a row to shear off the rest. Sadly, beyond these basic mechanics, there's not much else to experience. There's a challenge in learning how to efficiently clear off groups of creatures, but outside of rows dropping down the screen faster, there's little in the way of depth in the gameplay. Achievements and leaderboard placements on Game Center add some replay value, along with a time mode where you have 5 minutes to get the highest score possible, but what starts out as a neat concept loses its sheen after only a few plays. The developer has promised additions such as upgrades and a battle mode, so if you're intrigued by the concept, you might be rewarded with more value over time. But despite its beautiful presentation, lullaby soundtrack and intriguing concept, it lacks any serious replay value. This has been Andrew with AppSpy.com. We review, you decide.